Marble Bar, so we're filled up with water behind us. It's quite a nice little town actually, I quite like it. I'm going to take the kids to the general store, see if we can spend a few bucks. Seeing as we looked after, or they looked after us. The dump point is closed. Yeah, that's alright, we'll find somewhere else.
What are you guys eating?
Eating ice cream.
Ice cream. And where do we get the ice creams from?
From my bay away.
From the shop at Marble Bar. And where do we get the money from to buy the ice creams?
Outside.
Yeah, a nice lady and man gave you some money, didn't they? They were camping next to us. Very nice of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it tasty? Let me have a look.
So we're here at Glen Herring. I've just gone for a walk. Funny enough, I'm positive that the water level now is lower than it was when we came last year, which doesn't make any sense given the rainfall that they've had, but at least it looks reasonably clean. The water last time was going a bit green looking. So just got to decide whether we stay here or whether we cruise on. This is only 30 kilometres out of Marble Bar. Well, welcome to Glen Herring Gorge. Or Glen Herring I think it's just called. We're going to camp up the hill where there's a bit more shade, but it's way more picturesque here and we've got enough shade to survive. So that's the gorge. Oliver had a bit of an accident last night, so we've just set up. We did debate disconnecting and putting shade up and stuff, but it's too much work. So we're just going to chill here. You can walk, I reckon 500 metres, gets you to a nice spot in the gorge. The water levels seem low. I'm quite surprised, but at least it's nice and clean and should be good for a dip. Keen for a look around. Anyway, I'll stick the drone up and go for a fly. So just doing some tests on the portable solar panels. We've got the freezer is running at the moment, draws about 60 watts, and I've got the King's 200 watt blanket and the Allspark 160 watt blanket as well. So, and then there's a 120 watt panel on the roof, and it's all feeding through our inner drive DC 40 I think it is, which handles it fine, but obviously running lots of different panels together, not the most efficient thing in the world. So yeah, the King's solar panel was doing 90 watts like this. You can see the sun's I don't know, probably 45 degrees in the sky, so if that was angled a bit better you'd get a little bit more out of it. And the Allspark, we're getting 110 watts. And then the panel on the roof is doing sort of 70 or something. But interestingly, when you put them all in combination, there must be some losses, because we're only getting sort of around the 180 to 200 watt. Hopefully you can see that. 180 to 200 watt plus the fridge. So yeah, it should be a little bit more than that, but yeah, running lots of different panels with different specs, it works, just not as efficient. Anyway, I'll do some more testing. Our battery's still got 96 amp hour to go in before it's fully charged. Keep mucking around with it and see how we go. So we haven't been using the induction for a couple of days. And I actually turned our freezer down from -18 that we were running it at to around -10. -18 is the sort of food standard for long-term storage, but I'm not sure what you're actually allowed to do it at for shorter stuff, a couple of weeks at a time. But that was chopping the power, like we were going through sort of 90 amp hour in a 24-hour period. So yeah, that in combination with no sun. Like yesterday I had 660 watt of panels out and it was completely overcast and we were topping out at like 60 watt. So yeah, I still think induction cooking, awesome if you've got the solar. If you need to physically pull up to camp every day and set up solar blankets and whatnot, like just so you can run an induction, so not worth it. You're better to just use gas. So yeah, in a couple of weeks, you know, I'll have 600 watt of permanently mounted panels on this R2, and we'll probably buy a good quality solar blanket to take with us when we camp in the shade, or as a bit of backup. But yeah, I mean, pulling panels out every time you pull up, not much fun, not for us. So we'll just keep using gas unless we've got plenty of power, and then we'll use the induction cooktop. The guys that we were camping next to at Fina had two iTech. They're 120Xs is what they're advertised as. They're actually 105 amp hour. A little bit misleading in the way that they advertise it, but yeah, they were running a double Westinghouse induction cooktop off just those two batteries, 210 amp hour of lithium, and a 120 watt panel on the roof, and a folding blanket, a kick-ass one similar to that Allspark one. So they were an older couple, awesome guys. Obviously finding that it's easier and better, but you certainly have to be on the ball with how much power it's using.
So this is Glen Herring Gorge. There's currently a pool at the end that we'll go for a swim. Looks pretty nice, hey Coo? Water. What are you going to do in the water? Not there. We're going to go down here further. Well, how am I going to bend down there? Keep going. Keep going. Oh. Whoa, don't fall. This is a really pretty gorge. And kid friendly, super kid friendly. Yeah. Good boy, yeah, just go slow. We're nearly at the end. Over this way, Coops, I think. You go down the bottom, I'll go down the top. Who wants to go for a swim?
Me!
Well, let's go. We're going to get our shoes off. Remember, you're on video.
Oh, pretty beautiful place. We skipped this last time and went on to Tambina Creek because the water levels were average and it looked a bit algae-ish and whatnot. And also we had a younger kid and our kids were younger then. It's a little bit of a walk to get in, but yeah, Sarah's raving about it. She's saying it's one of the better free gorges that you can go to, and you can camp right at the base of it.
Do you guys like this spot?
Yeah, I don't even and take these home and draw with them at home.
What's the best thing about this campsite?
Drawing and what? And the pools.
Did you like having a swim this afternoon?
Only if it was hot.
Was it nice and warm?
No.
What was it?
Crazy.
No, it was beautiful.
It's chocolate drink time. And what else?
Oh, annoying mummy time.
Annoying mummy time. Do you know you guys are rascals?
No, we're not.
Let's wake the neighbours up time. We try and keep them as quiet as possible, but anyway, these guys are pretty good. They came in looking for a spot last night. We're not too worried about others coming to camp. Anyway, another beautiful morning here. It is an awesome spot. Another wicked free camp in the Pilbara. Highly recommend. I don't know that we'll see the sun before we get going this morning. Anyway, so we're heading down through the rest of this hillside track, which we've done before. We'll get some fuel at Oski because it's cheaper. And then we're heading through the bottom of Karajini and out to Tom Price. So Bob Swin and Tiger Eye Pool are the next couple of destinations. And then we sort of head for Mount Augustus and Kennedy Ranges. Anyway, enjoying our trip so far.
You're right next to each other, so you're going to have to tell.
We're going to go and have some brekkie. Rightio, we're at some lookout, which is absolutely spectacular. I'll show you some drone footage soon. I'll stick that up. Albert, I don't know, Tognolini or something or other. So there's a huge number of people camped here. We kind of drove almost as far as you can go. I don't know, you can keep going, but absolutely crazy views. So the Oski Roadhouse is just down the road, and then you're driving. These are the big sort of rocky sections that you drive through on the way down to Newman. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, we're going to have some lunch and then we'll get going. What a beautiful spot. What's the matter? What's the problem? Is this because Mummy turned your tablet off? Oh dear, huh? And what about you? You're cranky as well, huh?
Well, the child that was just wanting food in the car now is not hungry.
That's right. They were just complaining about food, so we stopped for lunch and turned their tablet off.
Now they're not happy.
How are we? How are we, guys? Woo!
What have you got?
awesome wrap. Pork and chutney and cheese and tomato and avo and
Cucumber. Sprouts.
mm.
What are you doing? Are you falling asleep, Cooper?
No, no.
You sure?
No, no.